Any piece of software that says simple in the description drives me insane because
Mhm.
it just means they don't have any confidence in what they're building.
To be fair, I feel like this is a
Yeah,
direct dig at the other
yeah,
library.
yeah.
I mean, just saying.
Okay,
Also, it uses router. This is
I'm down.
this is kind of fine, actually.
Yeah, yeah. This is let's use this.
This is better.
I love it.
But but I totally get you. I will
Dom,
feel
I've been very rude. How are you doing? I'm like exhausted from tweaking OBS.
I was gonna say that looked like it literally put you through the ringer.
Yeah.
Man, we're online. It looks great.
Good. I will cease my OBS ranting right now because it is true that like without it we wouldn't be able to do this at all. But
I'm still angry at it.
yeah, I haven't used such user hostile software in a long, long time.
Dude, right?
Yeah,
Man.
maybe since our own level design tools.
Ouch.
Yeah,
That's mean to our level design tools, frankly.
it is a little bit. Yeah.
Well, happy Friday.
Yes. What a way to spend a Friday night.
Hey man, I can't
Tweaking
imagine
OBS
better.
and then watching two people fumble around trying to make a game.
You know, we have what people want, and
Yeah.
that's why they come here.
Yeah.
Jeff, I was listening to a podcast today that I thought you would really love.
Tell me about it.
It's the podcast is Reply All, and there's one episode about this guy who remembers a song from the '90s
Yeah.
and then tries to go look it up, and it doesn't exist.
I listened to that already.
I have 10 minutes left, but I like got through the first, and they find the author of the song, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I paused it there, and I'm like, oh cool, I
Hey,
can't
no
wait to hear the
spoilers,
rest
man.
of this. Fair.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like
it's
it's
freaking
brilliant.
great.
It's amazing how well researched that podcast episode is, and how they talk to like all these different like people in the industry and all of the, like I believe they found that one person who was like, was she a therapist or a lawyer or something like that? But she used to be a
A music producer, yeah.
oh, she's a neurologist, right? But she used to be a music producer.
Well, specifically, she was the music producer of the Bare Naked Ladies.
That's an incredible coincidence.
No, they sought her out because they were like, you might have produced similar bands because
Uh-huh.
they thought the song was, just amazing.
Yeah.
The entire story. And I thought about you when I listened to it, but also the song is still stuck in my head because I haven't heard the real version yet.
Oh, yeah. And to be honest, that style of podcast is not super to my taste. I don't like the produced, slick single person talking. I guess the standard NPR like radio show format, I'm not a huge fan of, like the Radio Labs and This American Lives of the world.
Yep. But the musical journey of this one is just so interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Well, great. I'm glad you've already enjoyed this excellent piece of media.
Well, with
Yeah.
that recommendation, I don't know, maybe we should just put it on. Put on the last 10 minutes.
No, we can't have a podcast.
That's right. We already talked about this last time. We're going to get banned from Twitch or YouTube or both.
This is the one song we could use this song as our theme because the MPAA doesn't know about it. No one has rights to it.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, I'm sure they must have locked it down by now, right?
Maybe by now, yeah. But interestingly enough, yeah, if it's not in any music database, you could probably just put it out there and be like, here's a song that no copyright system will ever know about.
So this is going to sound like totally unrelated, and I assure you that it is at worst tangential. But I was reading Hacker News one day, and I and the title was Ethereum is a Dark Forest. This article,
Okay.
and Ethereum, the blockchain Ethereum, right? And it turns out it was written by none other than Dan Robinson, our good friend.
Amazing.
And, yeah, I mean, and he was talking about how, I guess in Ethereum, if you have like a poorly written contract where anybody can like claim funds out of it, what will happen is as soon as somebody tries to claim that those funds, because it's just like a poorly secured contract,
Right.
you basically have like these organizations who have placed so many nodes in the Ethereum network that when your transaction that gets broadcast to the world ordering that money to go into your account, everybody there's agents out there that'll like notice that and then flood the rest of the network with an equivalent transaction, but it reroutes the money to their account. So any any unsecured contract that's out there, you're never going to be able to like hijack it because that problem has been automated away by like nefarious parties out there.
Oh my God.
You know,
and because of Byzantine consensus, they get to, if they flood it with the most items, they get to win the consensus battle.
or it's just that like most of the miners, they're not controlling the mining power, but they're just closer to the miners, basically, right? They're like, it's going to basically like the way that they flood the network is just much more likely that their transaction is going to make it in rather than yours. And it's such an interesting thing, and that's probably what happened to that dude's song. Is that like as soon as it was out there, it's like this kind of like nobody had the copyright to it. I mean, I'm sure that's like a song that like people like will stream on Spotify now, right?
I wonder if the record finally made it to like the internet.
Yeah.
I look forward to the thrilling conclusion.
Yeah. And by we've just double spoiled it. It's fine.
Fair enough.
It's fine.
That's even better, frankly.
Blame Dan Robinson. It's his fault.
What a wonderful human being he was to work with.
Yeah. He was great.
Did you ever do karaoke with him?
Did I? I know he was like super down with like Hamilton karaoke, which seems right in character for him.
He sure was, yeah. Yeah, he oh man. There was I forget why I was in New York with him and Devin, but like those two, boy.
Yeah. The chain and play that I liked to karaoke with most was Tony Arcieri.
Whew.
Encyclopedic. That guy like knew the whole catalog.
It was amazing. Well, and like as a software engineer who I worked with, he was so quiet.
Yeah.
And like so soft spoken. And then at karaoke was like the loudest, beltiest singer I've ever gone to karaoke with. Yeah.
Yeah, he was incredible.
What a true delight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good times. I miss karaoke.
Yeah, it'll be a while. What would you like to do today with the game?
Last thing.
Sorry,
great
I cut
question.
you off. Yeah.
No. Karaoke is the last thing we got. That's all.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. So we got our particle emitters working.
Mm-hmm. Not particle emitters. We've got wall colliders working.
No.
The particle emitters do work. Yes.
Yeah, I'm shooting it out the gun.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
It's the tiny one. We got to put the big boom explosions back in there.
Yeah.
Wall collision's working. Bullets are moving. And I guess if we look in simulate, we've got a medium chunk of functionality going on.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
It is really good.
And the most important system of all, transform init, which simply sets. It's no slouch. Yeah. This was our very good addition, which is if they're different, you put it on the dirty stack.
Is it just the wall collider that cares about that?
Retrieve position. That's a great question. Yes. Yep.
Cool. This system feels like a total anti-pattern to me.
The wall collider in general, or transform init?
The transform init. But I don't want to fix it. I'm just saying that out loud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing is if we fix the wall colliders, not use it, then we can just delete it. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah, it's. I think it's simply the whole wall collider. I would like to rewrite to be in the vein of our line of sight thing, where it's just like we do line intersections and call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't actually need to do all this stuff that seems a little funky, and then we can just get like, oh, you've intersected with the west wall because that's your line done.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit harder than that because you need to the way that you resolve the collision is you need to move the entity back along its line of motion. But still, like I think there's a much more precise and mathematical way that we can go about doing this.
Yep. Yeah. Strong agree. I just don't even recall what we used previous box. It's just it's to tell what direction you were coming from. And I feel like we could capture that better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Actually, we could capture that better because we know what the inputs are, and the inputs are events that we can listen to now. So we can actually, in the wall collider, ask what keys or what the impulse on the tank is.
Interesting.
So the direction information is now available to us to refactor that out.
Yeah, I'd rather.
Not here. I think that's off stream work. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah. That's definitely one idea. Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, we did it. So yeah, I in terms of what to do today, there's more stuff to unsimulate, or resimulate. I think also the application of prediction from buffered inputs is clearly like a bit of a bugbear in our code for performance, and like it gets slower and slower the further out of sync we get with the server. But I think 20 frames is not an unreasonable delta from the server.
Yeah.
And then there's also the client server architecture you proposed on Slack.
You know, I got a little bit into that.
Yeah.
It was the reason why it took me as long as I did to turn on my Windows machine and get into this Zoom session with you.
Oh, is there a branch? Do you want to go through it?
Yeah, I can at least talk you through it. We can see
let's do it.
So it is called multiplayer server.
Cool.
And I don't know how long it's going to take to actually implement, but I can at least walk you through what I've got thought-wise.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna pull this up in a diff too, so we can really.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, got a build folder going.
There's a folder called dev. Notice that it is parallel to source. And I don't know if it should be that way, but the idea is that we're going to take over the hot reload functionality from Parcel. We're still going to use Parcel, but we're going to take over the idea that if something happens on the file system, we're going to reload it. And I want to listen to source because I'm using, maybe this is wrong, but I'm using the dev folder to like store some build artifacts. In other words, like
you want
what's
to be
in
working
dev
on
is
it and not.
Sorry,
like if you're in source, you're going to be like triggering the file system watcher the whole time you're in there. So this seems
I think
much
that
cleaner.
was kind of what I wanted to do. Although maybe I don't care that much. This may end up moving back into source, and we'll just put the output folder in some other location. I'm not sure. So this is still missing kind of a crucial piece, but let me walk you through what I've got so far.
Cool.
So first of all, there is a script called, it's this one. This is called build client. What it does is it runs Parcel over source, and it runs it on index.html, which is the entry point, right?
Yep. Oh, cool. So Parcel has a programmatic interface that you can trigger the exact same. That's great.
Yeah, if you go to their docs, I mean, I just copy and pasted. I just took this bundler thing and I just copied and pasted it from them.
Delightful. And then client build is what you've tossed in the git ignore here. Great.
Yeah. Client build is the output. It goes under dev. And And there's no watch, right? I've actually explicitly disabled watch. I think it defaults to true if you are in node development mode, and so I don't want it to watch. Because watching will mean that it will stay resident and build for everything. What I want to do is do the file watching outside of this script. So another interesting thing that this thing will do is it will write a file called the build key, and it writes it into the client build directory. And for now, the way that I've implemented the build key is I'm using a file modification timestamp. I basically you see that function on line 8, get modified time milliseconds. All it's doing is it's walking the file system recursively and saying, give me the most recent file modification time of every file down here. I thought that Parcel would give me like a hash of all the content, like a Merkle tree. I guess my head was still in blockchain land. It unfortunately doesn't do that. Although I don't know, this is maybe what I should do is hash over the main bundle, because Parcel, even in development, gives you one bundle file, and maybe I should just be hashing the contents of that. And that might be better than the modification time thing.
But still, this is good.
So eventually, this script doesn't do it yet, but what this script should do is actually take the modification time in as a command line parameter as well. Because right now, it's going to always generate a new build key every single time you run this script, which is actually what we don't want. And if we do the hash of the main bundle, then we don't have to pass it in there. So that might be the better idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that while I was working on this today. But.
Right, because then it'll be a stable hash of the contents instead.
That's exactly right. Unless Parcel does something funny, like inject a timestamp into the source code.
Man, I just had this issue with Gulp of all things, where it concats JavaScript files in random order.
Oh God!
So like every build is not reproducible without like 10 more Gulp plugins.
That is horrible.
Sorry. Rant over. This is why no one uses Gulp anymore.
My God. Yeah. So we might have that issue with Parcel, right? Maybe they have no guarantee for reproducible builds.
I sure hope it just does it alphabetically.
Right. Yeah.
It's not that hard.
No, it's not hard. Okay. So actually the fact that the fact that the build key is not content addressable means you have to pass in a time, because what you want to do is you only want to update the build key if something new happens. And by something new, well, I guess it's fine. I guess what we're looking at is fine.
Right, because doesn't this just generate a new build key when you start the server, but then every client basically needs to sync what the server wants? Like every client will see like, oh, I have out-of-date code, I'll just go grab that. So it's like, it's a little extra work, but you'll never be wrong. You'll just be wasteful.
Right. Common, I think I should throw the stuff in common. It's just a bunch of like paths. It should probably just go into the build client file. And then there's the server here.
What is Koa?
Koa is the successor to Express.
Wow, man, I just gotta say, like, America is not the place to put a K in the place of a C for your names.
What the hell?
Don't do that.
Oh my God.
Koa campgrounds, don't do that. Anyway,
I can't believe that they did that. Was COA taken at the time in 1962? It must have been. Must have been Communists of America, right? Like they wanted to do something.
Clearly, Google wants me to do it. No, man. Hang on. Boy. Yeah. Sorry.
Good times.
Sorry, Fujiwara. You messed up that one.
Yeah, Fujiwara. Koa basically is like Express, but all the callbacks can use async await.
Cool.
Full stop.
That's rad.
And it has way less in the main package, which I've grown to be... Yeah, I've grown to appreciate that a lot more.
Man, speaking of, what the fuck is up with Gatsby? It's so silly.
Yeah, Gatsby is what we're using to generate our website, jeffanddawn.com, or at least it will be. And it is an intense journey through the world of JavaScript.
It's the kitchen sink. It really, really is.
Yeah.
The thing we're going to use GraphQL for, which sort of like makes almost enough sense to me, is to write a pagination query into the previous broadcasts. And like you can take that structured data and hand it to a file generator that says like, oh cool, I'm going to output like 3 HTML files from this. They've basically just given up on like, they're just like, you want to write logic, just like structure data and hand it to this function.
Why does it need GraphQL though?
It doesn't, but I think once they started down the GraphQL path, they're just like, well, it looks like everything is a GraphQL query, isn't it? It's just too much.
Wait, so are they doing GraphQL inside the same JavaScript process? They're not making a network call, and they're still doing GraphQL.
Correct. It's GraphQL as a structured query into your Markdown files, but you can also include like GraphQL sources from a WordPress blog or like a RSS feed, and take the same structured data and drop it into the same static site generator. So I think they've just converged on a single language of transit for data.
I see.
They've just picked a very annoying one.
I'm not
it's cool.
Sure
we're not going to write much GraphQL.
I mean, isn't it just like an array of objects? Like what?
I know. I'm with you. I picked up Gatsby because I was like, well, I need to make a static site generator from this YouTube feed. Better pull in Gatsby, which has like a bunch of like processes for making requests and turning them into static files. And I was like, what if I just wrote my own Markdown?
Yeah.
I
mean, you definitely wrote it the way that I aspire to write code, which is just like grab the demo. I don't care if it has a pricing page that we're never going to use. I don't care. It's just going to get me off the ground and we're going to get going. And I can never do that. And I end up spending like half my life removing the cruft. And then like, it. Yeah, I'm glad that you just like fought that instinct.
Anyway,
yeah,
Koa.
Yeah, if we go back to the GitHub diff, the server, it actually basically run like if you look at the routing table, if you could scroll down a little bit because our handsome faces are in the way. Yes, perfect. It basically serves a slightly rewritten version of the parcel index.html, the index.html that parcel generates. It also has an endpoint that serves the build key that is currently on the hard drive. And then it also serves static assets out of the client build directory. Right.
Okay, brilliant.
And in fact, you could argue that the build key is a static asset, so I don't know why I separated those two. But I still needed to read the build key when you boot the server. So the idea here is imagine that there's a supervising process outside of this that uses Watchman, that library. And when it detects a file change in the source directory, it will both rerun that client build script, and so it runs all that stuff. So you'll get a new bundle, and you'll also get a new build key. And when that's done, in serial order, it'll also kill the server and restart it. So the server will read the new build key and be serving that. And right now, since there's no WebSocket to what's running in the browser's like, all that's happening, and the browser's unaware of that. However, I remember how I said we have a slightly rewritten version of the entry point or the index.html that parcel generates?
Correct, yeah. You got your init hot reload here.
Yes. So basically, if you scroll down to the index.html, you notice I just added this little HTML comment that's a placeholder. Nice. And basically what that does is it hard codes the build key that you had when the server was last initiated. It's not the one that's on the hard drive right now, but it's when the server was last initiated. And then what'll happen is if you go to main.tsx now, I've got this little function here. This function is running outside of the parcel bundle, which is interesting because I actually originally had this function use await, which meant that I needed an async function But Parcel actually kind of, I think it actually downcompiles this to ES5 or something like that. So it has all this like crazy shit if you use async await. So I
Gotcha.
can't use async await there because it's all bound to like the context that the bundle uses, and this is running outside of that. And so what this is doing is it says when you load the client in the browser, it's just going to start polling every 2 seconds the build key endpoint. And when it gets something from the endpoint that is different to what it was initialized with, it just does a window.location.reload. And so basically it reloads what's from the server. The server has the new bundle ready for it because it got reloaded when the bundle got prepared.
Cool.
And so this is a little bit sort of circular, but I actually think it ends up being kind of straightforward, circular but straightforward. I'm just sort of like I'm a mess of contradictions tonight. But like it's a lot more transparent than whatever the hell Parcel is doing to do hot reloading, right?
No, this is great. And then so basically like if two clients connect to the server, we're basically ensuring that they are speaking, they're talking about the same code no matter what. And if the server refreshes, whoever's connected remotely will get the new one no matter what. Brilliant.
So the alternative to this was that a lot of these bundler programs, I think including Parcel and including Webpack, you can actually mount their hot reloading functionality to just like one URL path in your larger API server. That's the way a lot of people do it, is they have like a big API server and they mount the bundler as one, like as one particular endpoint on that API server.
Interesting. Okay.
And so it's basically active in the background and like watching file changes. But the problem is if you share code between the server and the client, which we definitely do, then there's nothing outside of the server that's watching for changes and restarting the server, right? Because the only thing in that in the scenario that I just described, the only thing that's watching for file changes is the dev server, which means that your server is going to be running on stale code, basically, right? Which is why I kind of had to construct this whole thing.
I like this trick a lot, and I like that we actually still got to depend on Parcel Bundler.
Yeah.
As our tool of record. So I guess so this is great. So I guess what's still to come here is like we don't have a server necessarily. We have two clients we have end clients that can receive the same code, but we don't have the coordination back via an endpoint. But it sounds like Koa might be a place for that too.
Yes. So I think inside the server here, we would actually just run the game. Like the game would be running in the background, right?
Great. Yeah.
And we could have WebSockets hooked up to this thing. We could do a lot of different things. So we'd just be running the game in the background.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then now what remains to be seen, though, is we're not using Parcel to bundle the server. And is there anything that we're doing in the common code that relies on Parcel-specific behavior?
I really don't think so.
What about importing the map JSON file, right?
Oh, crud. But once it's bundled, like we should be able to include the bundled artifact.
I see what you're saying. We should be able to include the bundled artifact. But the bundled artifact...
wait, actually, here's the thought. Yeah, we should be able to include a bundled artifact of server TS. Like we should have a second Parcel entry point that is server stack and client stack because they have
and then it just exports a library.
Yeah, exactly. That you include here and just start.
That
so you run this
is an awesome idea. I love it.
Yeah, and we've already restructured around it essentially by doing this. So
yeah,
that'll work great.
Yeah, no. Well, I actually think the server class here, like maybe this is getting a little bit too far ahead, but I like the idea of this being something that we could run in the browser side if we wanted to, the way they're doing it now. I think we have a separate kind of like server bundle entry point file that does the thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it could load this up with
some and runs it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
seems reasonable.
Yeah. So if we wanted to do this, we'd be getting away from implementing functionality but we'd be getting really close to both of us being able to play the game at the same time.
Yeah, I think especially with this current state of the game, we've got enough, like, it'd be really cool if one of us was controlling the other tank.
Yeah, and we could totally do it. You could set up Ngrok, right?
Yep.
We could do it. I don't know what the lag will look like, but
It's, it might be time to find out. And I feel like turning on the rest of these systems is kind of a mechanical task that maybe we do off stream because they're not all going to be that interesting anymore.
yeah.
Or we'll have like, I feel like what is going to happen is that we're going to connect to the server, talking to each other, and we're going to hit huge performance issues because of this that we'll actually need to like dig in and solve.
Yeah, I wonder how many frames behind we would end up seeing this be.
I mean, what's a really good latency? What's my latency right now? Ooh, this house has fiber. That's pretty slow.
Is that down? Well, you are running Zoom right now, right?
I guess I'm streaming. I mean, 10 to 72 milliseconds is not bad, actually. That's like even with a little light on the bandwidth. That's
fast. I'm at 67 right now with Zoom and OBS running at the same time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I love fiber. But yeah, so our ping is pretty good, but like 72. Oh, wow. Something has beach balled my cursor. It's Firefox.
Dang it, Firefox.
Sorry, buddy.
Back to Safari.
No, back to Firefox. It couldn't handle how fast fast.com was.
I love it.
Maybe it wanted to update itself. That's all.
Oh, wonderful.
But I was gonna say 72 divided by 16 is 4.5 frames, and there's probably like 2 or 3 times back and forth transit, so 15, 20 frames.
And then
like
there's going to be the server buffer as well. Like the server is going to wait X number of frames for input from both sides to come in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems reasonable that in our 60 frame simulation, we could have like a full 20 to 30 frame hangout, if not longer.
The game felt really choppy for me to control when I was running it. Is that true for you as well? Does it feel snappy?
I think it feels quite snappy.
Okay, maybe it was the console logs, because I deleted console logs off of this branch.
Maybe that is it. Yeah, certainly not snappy with 30 frames of buffer.
Yeah.
But this actually feels really good.
Okay.
And I noticed that I no longer have a major issue when shooting bullets. So
what happened with that?
Dude, I don't know, because it was my computer last time too. So
yeah.
Search me.
Ghosts in the shell.
There truly are.
Yeah.
So I guess all that to say that.
Should we just truck ahead with this then?
I think so. I think this is a really interesting direction. And
does this structure make sense to you?
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I think sort of figuring out how to run the server in here and like sort of destructure what we've got into endpoints back and forth will be really, really cool. So
okay,
yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah, good. Thanks for laying the groundwork for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a new folder.
So if you want to do hot reloading right now, maybe it would be worth creating a watch.ts that sort of ties these two things together.
Cool. Do you think it's living at the root so it can?
It would be in dev.
In dev. Okay.
I'd like to have all those things kind of live together wherever they go. So I'm happy to put them anywhere, but yeah.
Should dev be server?
It's not really the server because I see what you're saying.
Because it kind of, this would be like what we'd run in a web process.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm happy with whatever direction we want to go with that.
Okay, well,
it's dev because I think it's just because I was thinking through this like hot reloading shit, but really that's just the dev only feature of a larger thing, and so I think your instinct is right.
Okay, I'm gonna gonna call it server.
Okay.
It'll be nice too, because when we merge the branch, it actually will. We won't have done a rename because these files never existed in the real world or in the master world.
But it's not the capital S server.
No, it's like a server. It's a server that I feel like what is dev is actually maybe this stuff.
Do we want to call it maybe like game service? Is that or service? Is that a little bit funky? Game service together is like, yeah, it is like, it's really clear what we mean by that, right?
I think that, yeah, that feels good.
Because it's a combination of serving the client bundle to clients that want to connect and also running the server simulation as well.
Right, especially when like, yeah, simulate is starting here.
Yep.
Super strong agree.
Yeah.
So I guess the behavior is when we do a reload and this server gets kicked over, we're going to restart the simulation for both clients, and that's fine.
Yep. That's cool.
Sweet. Wow, I typed simulate, it immediately brought that in. Hold your horses, game service. So let's see. So we need to add Watchman.
Yes. So yarn add Watchman, yarn add types / Watchman. It's just like, there should be like a TS yarn that automatically adds the types.
Oh, how cool would that be? What a great idea. Man, every time I try to go into the types project to look for something, though, I'm always just so disappointed because I'm just like.
Do you think maybe Watchman just has the types in them?
That might have been it. Yeah,
Okay.
but this is totally the correct.
Yeah.
So I was was Watchman a Facebook project? Gosh.
Oh, FB Watchman.
Do we want that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. That's
This is the state of the art, I think, for this thing that we're trying to do.
I think you're right. I've seen this go by, so. Great. FB Watchman. If it's from Facebook, I'm sure it has types. Types. You know what?
I completely have been ignoring our dev dependency versus regular production dependency distinction.
Oh, I mean,
I've been running roughshod.
Does it matter? It doesn't really matter. But
I confess to having lost track of the distinction between the two.
I mean, I'll do the easy one, which is everything goes in here.
Into dependencies.
Everything with types does, because it can't be a runtime dependency at all.
Yeah.
But that's the only hill I will die upon.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest of this I don't know work there. So let's see. So we make a new Watchman.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to import Watchman from FB Watchman.
You might have to do star as. I'm not sure. It might.
Yeah. Oops. I should spell it right.
Okay. Well, that's looking good so far.
I don't know. I think I probably want star as.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
There's client. Okay,
and
so
I'm sure we have to configure it somehow, right? Like tell it what directory to watch and then what to do.
Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable. Install that client source installed. There we go. Start to watch. Dir of interest.
Why do we need to do a capability check?
I don't know. The client can be. I mean, I guess it's what it wants us to do.
All right, I'm happy to copy and paste.
Yeah, whatever.
Do they not have a promise version of this library? It's funny.
Ugh.
Whatever.
Great question. Yeah. This is, fun. All right. So fine. Don't care about response at all.
Do you remember when we worked on JavaScript SDKs, and we had really rad APIs that could take a callback or return a promise.
Dude, do I ever the chain JavaScript SDK and the Java SDK that supported like builder pattern and some strange factory shit. That was
I
so
don't even
good.
remember that.
I wrote a really sick Java SDK for that project.
Yeah.
Not that it ever got used. Not bitter. Not bitter at all. All right. So is this just watching? Well, you know what? I'm just going to run console.log watch or resp. And error. We'll just see what this does. I gotta say, I am such a not fan of functions that put error first, though I completely understand where this pattern came from.
Yeah.
So wait, we've started a watch project, and then we have to subscribe to changes? Yikes, man.
This is the most over-engineered thing I've seen in my life.
Like, holy cow, yeah.
Because this is starting a server, right? Watch project is starting a server. But it's like not...
Mm-hmm. It's not actually watching. So if I do node game service watch.ts, first of all...
TS node.
TS node, yeah. I was going to say...
Or npx, ts-node. npx ts-node will use the TypeScript that's in the local node modules.
Great. Because, yeah, I was going to say it's already unhappy because I'm using a bunch of weird stuff.
And if you want to do that really quickly, I actually think that if you go to package.json...
Oh, I can just put this in.
I actually have a dev there, npx ts-node serve. That should be watch rather than serve. Because that's what you would run if you're developing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And then you can just do yarn dev.
Yeah, yarn dev.
Yeah. Can we add a license? that warning bothers me every time.
Yeah, you getting tired of that? Yeah, absolutely. What's your preferred license, Jeff?
I think it has to go in the package.json.
Oh, that's true, but I was gonna put a license file there anyway. We could do WGFPL.
Or we could be GPL 3.0.
Yeah. Great.
I don't
like WGFPL.
We should use either MIT or or Berkeley. I don't really.
What is Berkeley just MIT but slightly modified?
I think Berkeley includes the name of includes your name. Like there's like a tiny attribution thing.
Oh, that's funny. Wait, has BSD always been Berkeley Software Distribution?
Yeah.
What? All right. You know what? Will this just do it? Can it just like?
We just need a.
Yeah, you need the right version of that string.
Usually people use the BSD revised, I think, or something like that. Oh my god.
Classic Berkeley, no nuclear. You know Berkeley is a nuclear-free zone, don't you? All right.
This is clearly the most important decision that we're going to make in this game.
Of course. Someone should make a game out of license choosing. Is there a BSD revised?
BSD new?
BSD 3 clause? Sure.
What is the TL? Must contain this copyright notice. Neither the name or the copyright. Yeah, there's something like number 3 is the distinction between this and MIT, basically.
Cool. I'm into it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Great. Then we don't need.
And then copyright C 2020. Jeff and Dom, Lee and DeGrati. I think that's like our legal, our legal Siamese twin name. That's
I
what
like
that's
that.
what I did. That's the name I used when I signed up for our G Suite account.
I've seen that go by, and it really tripped me out once. I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
Um, Great. Okay. So I was just looking to see if there was a non FP Watchman version of this, but there isn't. It's the thing.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Let's see. So, oh, it's not DevWatch. It is Game Service.
Nice.
And then it still does not believe that source is a directory.
Try under.
Had
Try yeah. That didn't work either.
No, this gave me the same error.
Okay. Try just under dir name plus slash source.
Mm-hmm.
It's lowercase. Yeah.
Oh, maybe this might actually now it might want the dot dot. Because that time it was actually looking in.
Okay, try this. Yeah, add an extra slash.
Yep.
And then otherwise we can use path.normalize, which is what I do in some of the other scripts.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Nice.
Relative fast, great.
And then are we printing when things change yet, or we don't even have that yet?
I don't think so, but let's see. This is our response and error. If I were to change something, oops, like in client, like const x equals 1.
Yeah, we don't have any listeners yet, right?
That's correct, because we need a subscription. Oh, so much work.
Sorry.
No, I mean, just like who would do this to their poor library? Okay, so we have make subscription.
I actually think that this is like the Facebook tendency is to want to client and server everything. Our I guess this kind of makes sense for language stuff, but like Slack uses Facebook's internal in-house language called Hack, which is like a PHP with gradual typing over it.
Oh right, yeah.
And
cool.
Our type checker has this exact architecture. It if you run the client and the client doesn't detect the server, it'll initiate the server, and then the server is resident, and it makes sense for. I guess it makes sense for this too, right? You want something that's resident, that's like watching something. Why it can't just be this file though? I don't know.
Well, and I guess I'm trying to figure out like what like what calls this? I pass the client in. Do I just call make subscription with the same client object?
Yes, I actually I think you can just do once you know that the watch has started. So inside this innermost function that you have here, you can just do like client.command subscribe. I think that's what you can do at this point.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. And I'm separately trying to Google to see if there's like a promise version of this, because this is not very fun, right?
I concur. Oh, but so there's like a watch argument. But is that just the dir of interest? What really gets me is that I feel like this watch is this. So actually, right, this has to happen inside of watch project because we need watch. Yikes, man. What gets me is that these docs do not include like an actual full example of the thing running, and I'm just like, people just want to do this one thing.
Yeah.
You're making this so hard on us. What's going to do our TypeScript for us here? We're watching. What are we triggering?
Yeah, well, we can either have serve and build client Well, I think what we want to do is we want watch to actually start the server, hold on to the PID, send sig kill, or sig term will probably do it, and then restart the server. So maybe we have a function that's just like start server, right? Yeah.
Just gonna put that in there because I really don't want to keep all these extremely annoying comments around.
Yeah.
I'll keep that error log though. Okay, we're subscribing. We've got our sub, and I was gonna say we want to match everything that is TS instead.
I think we want to match everything.
Just, oh yeah, great.
Yeah. At least until it gets annoying.
Yep. No, I'm totally with you. Cool. And then the last thing we do is a client.on subscription.
And I think we want to do that inside. I think technically
it's inside this.
No, what I mean is we want to do it inside the callback of the subscribe thing. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
No, because this is an event handler, so it should subscribe.
Yeah, totally.
Should do its thing. But let's start this and see what we get. I'm sure it'll be weird. Come on, nobody cares. I'll figure it out in a second. Hello. Okay. Yeah, that sure works.
Oh, so why did we get so many up front?
It was one of everything, including
because there's a cache
and the node modules, which we truly don't need, and a bunch of dot files. So actually, we've subscribed to all of. I think maybe we just want search star.
Yeah. Well,
that's nothing. Okay.
How did it?
Yeah, like what?
What is that expression relative to? Because didn't we only set a subscription to source? Shouldn't have no modules in it at all, right?
We're watching Manchester.
Oh.
The relative path is source?
What is line 14 doing then?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a truly excellent question. Boy. Let's don't need this file change. Oh, it's watching itself too, which is no good. Oh my God, TypeScript, you are so aggressive. It should. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand what the relative path part of this is. Start a new watchman. Required relative root. Dir of interest is some path. And this is dir. I feel like this is what it's supposed to be watching. That's so bizarre.
The only thing I can imagine it doing is like what if you did /source?
It really doesn't believe in that.
God, why is this so? This actually makes me want to use a different library, right?
I'm still right there with you, yeah. Tiny. What about like this simple service monitor?
What does Node Supervisor use? I think Isaac Schlueter like was the original person to write that, so I'm sure it's like super cool.
This looks a lot simpler.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm
happy to do that.
Has this been? It hasn't been touched in so long though.
Are you worried about that?
I mean, I guess if I was shipping production software, I might be.
This is just development though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
36,000 weekly downloads.
Oh, is it really? Great.
Yeah.
I definitely don't care.
Node.js file watcher.
Fuck all this thing.
There's actually fs.watch. What the fuck? There may just be like a library function that does this.
Yeah, wait, isn't that what you're using in... Oh, you're not. Okay. Huh. fs.watch. No. Yeah, if we just have access to this, why does fbwatch even exist?
Watches changes on file name where file name is either a file or a directory. Is it recursive? Oh, we can add a recursive flag. Well, shit. Let's just use this.
That seems a lot clearer.
Yeah.
It's just this with a callback? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I feel like I let us down a near half an hour route of folly.
You took me on a journey.
Yeah.
And it's a journey where I learned that I never want to use FE Watchman. So I learned something today. Cool. Do we need to import FS from Node here?
Yeah. Star is FS.
Sorry,
from FS.
All right. And then file name, we want source, options, recursive true, and then a listener that takes event type, file name. I'll just log both out and see what we get. Oh, I should be doing that. All right, yarn dev. No such directory source. Do I do dir name plus source again?
Yeah, dir name plus that. Then you're going to need to add a /. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so if I save, yeah, that totally works.
Nice.
Huh.
Well, that's a cool little one-liner or two-liner, as it were.
Much happier with this. Holy cow.
Okay. So one thing we can do is call build client. So maybe build client should not be an executable. It should just be a thing that we export a function from.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we export this main function just becomes like a build client function.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, right. We've got that. Cool. So we're going to take in import build client from /build client. Okay.
And then is there a way we can make this async? Do you know? Otherwise, we can make this like a chain of promises. Oh, I mean, I think it can be async because there's nothing that FS Watch is waiting on, right? It's not like this isn't waiting on the on anything. So I think we can make it async.
Cool.
Like FS Watch will call that function and just not care what happens, right? Like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it seems very, very reasonable.
So cool. we want to do just like a wait build client.
Cool.
And then, yeah.
So we do need to restart the server for that change to pick up.
Yes.
But Now, if let's see.
Oh, just get rid of that stuff
yeah.
at the bottom. Yep.
Oh, I should probably like save a file to, well.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Now, is it doing, I guess it's a random parcel. Is it doing any caching?
It should be caching. Yeah.
It all ends up in client build and
Yeah.
probably see maybe a cache or a disk folder.
Yeah. Is this the first time we did it?
This is the first time I've run build
yeah.
client at all.
Totally.
Hey, that's really cool.
Yeah. Try saving again. See what happens. Yep. That's fast.
That's
Perfect.
the right size. Damn, dude. Okay. Yeah, 2 to 3 seconds. You know, it's interesting. It kind of feels like it's running it twice. Call me crazy.
Can we? Yeah.
Okay. No, maybe I'm crazy.
I knew what you were seeing.
Yeah, I did it again.
Is it?
Oh, you know what? It might just be interleaving output with the previous buffer.
Well, no, you get that built thing twice, right? And they're two different things. Oh, I see.
Like it might have just been like, I don't know, sometimes
2.75, 3.25, can you delete now? And then we'll see if we see those numbers again.
yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, because if it's the previous buffer, we'll find it out. Yep. No?
That was only once.
1.63? Wow, that time I just hit save and cannot add a worker call if worker farm is ending. And then it ran it at the end. That's very interesting. Yeah, there's something going on here, but you know what? This is good enough.
Okay.
I wonder. Let's see.
We could add a debounce to this callback.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, just like only let it go every second or something.
Yeah.
Cool. Dude, heck yeah. Okay, this is great. Great. We really don't need either of these.
Yep.
Okay, so file changes. We build the client. We need to so
Kill
actually
the old
this needs
server
to
and then restart the server. Yeah.
right. So this needs to start the server too. So we're going to. I guess we need to export const app here as well, huh?
Well, because we're killing the whole process, we actually want to use a what do you call it in Node? Child process. We actually want to like shell out and like, or we want to actually make like a kernel call to like execute this.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, so and then our child process is just
yarn. Yeah, we should probably add a dev server or something like that here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is this and oops.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Is it child process.exec? Spawn.
Yeah. Exec is the thing that replaces the current process.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that is really taking me back to like CS 300 or something.
Yeah.
Woof.
I was really excited to take it was a semi-formal OS class last summer at the Bradfield School of Computer Science.
OS is such a cool course. Man.
It's a really good one. Bradfield was great. It's kind of like this. It's not really a boot camp, but it is in that ilk. But you basically just take classes there, and it's a little bit more theoretical than and boot camps are very practical in their nature. But I took an OS class. And yeah, we went over the whole Unix process model and how processes get started. And to this day, I understand better
That's so
how it
cool.
works. Huh? What's that?
That's so cool, man. I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a very distinct memory of that class and of writing a kernel for it and realizing that I had something wrong in my like virtual memory table where I would like
Yeah.
iterate through every chunk of memory 10,024 times because I like multiplied something by the wrong number. And I just like I took out one line of code that was like a for loop to 1024 and like the entire kernel started working. I was like, oh, that,
Amazing.
that was very silly of me.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see. So we're in like signal territory here where we want to send a kill to this, right?
Yeah, but we don't need anything. We just need the PID, and then we can send something to the PID.
Which spawn probably returns for
Yeah,
us, right?
I think spawn sync is the thing that we do want, though. I think.
Okay.
And then spawn sync returns what? A child process, and then it should be like, yeah.
Spawn sync returns buffer.
Ooh, that's weird. Did I misread what spawn sync does? I think I might have.
Yeah, I expect spawn sync to wait.
Oh, I see. It waits for it to finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So maybe spawn is the thing that we want.
I think it's spawn.
Okay.
Let's see. A child process without null streams. Standard in,
That does not
standard
return a
out.
PID? That's interesting.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's got a bit on there. Great. Cool. So then, oops, get out of here. How do we kill? Oh, subprocess.kill. Great. Oh, we can just call server dot.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's just it. Just kill. Yep.
It's kill, and then we do server equals spawn yarn serve. So we cycle.
This is gonna work.
Mm-hmm. Let's find out. And actually, spawn yarn serve. That's
what directory is it running
from? Right.
Args.
That's a great. Let's see. Those are args.
Yeah, those are args. Oh,
like
I guess the args are there so you can't do like you can't. The args are there so you can't do like command injection, right? That's a security thing. I'm surprised it doesn't have more options that allows you to say like what's the PWD for that call, you know.
Mm-hmm. I guess we could. I mean,
maybe maybe it's actually spawn yarn and then the args is an array with one value, which is serve.
That's a great point. Let's try that. Okay, starting up. Oh, it might be started actually.
Yeah, the server should be printing stuff out though.
Well, we might have had to capture standard in for that to happen.
Well, I know what you're saying, but it's working with the build stuff, right? And I'm assuming that's just writing the standard out, right?
I guess, but since we're spawning a process, I'm in like a.
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying. Yes,
I'm in a more skeptical phase of like we don't have the standard in.
Oh, okay, so maybe we can actually we can do server dot on standard in and then write just console log it.
Mm-hmm.
What is their events on the?
There we go. This is actually just delightful. Yeah. You know what? This is a much better interface than Facebook's bullshit.
Yeah. And maybe let's just do standard error as well. Let's just do it.
Oh, yep, might as well.
And then maybe we can put this whole thing in a function because we're going to want to reattach these listeners when we after the kill.
Oh, true. I wanted to start out. It looks like I'm actually writing a character buffer though.
Oh yeah, you can do .toString.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
.toString. You may have to capital S, camel case.
Oh man, I've been writing Ruby. Okay. Great. That's very reasonable.
Error command serve not found though.
Right, because yarn serve from game service probably doesn't work.
Is it? It's not called serve, right? It's yarn dev serve.
Oh, that's a great question too. Dev serve. Oh, come on. Okay, fingers crossed. Ooh.
That looks good. That looks good.
Okay, so if I go to 3000, I got something. It's broken. Is it broken though? It's probably broken.
That's okay. I'll take broken for now.
Yeah. And if I save the camera, it should restart this server in a second. Oh, but I didn't capture standard in because I didn't write the function that you suggested. Start server.
Actually, it should be everything. It should build the client.
Kill the server. Yep, that's a great point.
I mean, the ordering is a little funny because I think the first time we run it. Oh yeah,
That's okay.
Beautiful. And then we should also build the client first.
Cool.
You can put it into start server actually. Yeah.
I was gonna say I just deleted that,
Yeah.
but that's important. Yeah. What is it not like about this?
You have to make it async.
You make it async. Hello, computer. No, nothing's waiting here. This needs to be a child process with out null streams.
Well, it's got a bunch of overloads. That's the problem. It's like it's a ton of things, and that's got to be imported. Yeah.
Oh, and I see. We are doing a wait. Sorry. Loving this server dev.
Oh, we need to call start server in the very beginning as well.
Oh, I guess. I saved the camera, so you know what? I like the pattern of it being at the end.
Yep.
Looks like it does it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it even kills it because we lose it for a second. All right.
Okay, this could work.
Dude, yeah. I like it. Okay, cool. I wonder if Koa has like a faster restart.
Well, we want it to reload the entire game, right? Because there might be like we need to re-import stuff, which is why like killing the process and restarting it is necessary because you can't tell Node.js to re-import libraries.
Right, that's correct. Okay. Sorry, so many people walking behind me.
No problem.
Right. Okay, so this is fine then. We might have like a tiny lag, but the worst that'll happen is that a timeout will trigger and something will fail and then it'll time out again a second later. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So let's see. What's going on here? The window down in hot reload is not a function. That's probably true.
I saw this right before. So this is actually as far as I got before we had to jump on stream. So
sweet.
Let's figure out. Can you just look at the source code right now of this page?
Yeah, totally. Oh, the source code on the page, you mean?
Yeah.
You got it.
Or inspector. We'll do it.
Yeah.
So the thing that's setting window.init hot reload is main.tsx.
Uh-huh.
And
window.
the question is when is this code running?
Mm-hmm.
Like, does it run right away or does it get deferred by?
I mean, I'm not sure.
Init hot reload should exist right now, right? It's weird that it doesn't.
I wonder. Let's see. Can we take out? Oh wow, it's weird. This is going to run a simulated server loop in the client from the server. What adds? Only weird in sort of a mind-blowing way.
Yeah.
Main.tsx does that replace? What changes out the dev server? I like that this is searchable. Thank you. Serve. I'm just gonna.
It's getting written. You can see it in the inspector.
I can see it. I'm gonna take it out real quick because I'm wondering if that error is actually stopping the rest of our JavaScript from executing.
Oh, the problem is it's not able to find the bundle. Do you see that first line?
Oh, great. That is the problem. Localhost client build main.
So just go to serve.ts. If you scroll down, are we doing the static assets correct? We are doing the static assets correctly there.
Let's peek into the network. No such file, Manchester Game Service client build.
Oh, it's doubling it up. Interesting. So if you go to the build client.ts,
I see the public URL. I think this is actually /.
All right, let's try it.
Yeah, because we pass in the client build path here. Yeah, I think this will work.
So we want to reload localhost 3000.
I just restarted the whole thing, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that's
looking into this. That has the same issue.
So this is a server problem, right? This is like the server's not mounting this correctly. And I think it's just because we have like client build thrown in there twice. So what are we doing here? Client build.
What is
client
root?
Build path? Let's go to what the client build path is.
From common, I see. Dir name client build. What?
Dir name is game service. Slash client build. So how is client build getting thrown in there an extra time?
That's a great question. Well, so we're serving.
Can you console.log here? I guess we're gonna have to add some curly braces, but
yeah, that's okay. Oops, not there though. Come on.
And then that needs to be return console.log ctx.path.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering what root is doing here as well.
It's basically saying take the whatever is on the URL path in the parentheses and stick that on to the end of the root that you're passing in. This definitely worked at one point. I think I screwed it up by trying to factor out too many of these variables.
Wait, it takes this and sticks the client build path end of it? Because what if it was just this?
Well, that means that I don't know. You're asking good questions.
I think what we're doing is we're taking every path We're taking every request to client build and serving a file, but also prepending client build onto it.
Okay, so maybe client build path is the wrong thing, and it should just be.
I think this can just be our wildcard.
Well, no, I actually think.
Or root doesn't need to be here.
Root should be just dir name, maybe under dir name.
Okay. I feel it. It's close. So this is the path that got logged.
Okay. Okay. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is the parenthesis doing? Did I just not write this correctly? Because the parenthesis is clearly doing something meaningful, right?
These?
Yeah. Or does that just mean does it just delineate regex? That must be what it is. It's just like here lies regex.
Yeah, I think you've wildcarded everything after client build.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why the parentheses are necessary, but I think it's basically saying this is not regular shit. It is a regex, right? Rather than being a capture, right? I guess maybe that was why I was mistaken. I thought it was a capture.
Oh, yeah. I get you. So this is weird, but
works.
the whole game works.
It totally works.
Yeah. So if I save the camera, I expect to see a rebuild, and I expect my shit to refresh in a second.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Okay.
It's a little slower, but it works. Is it too slow? Is it slow enough that
the game's not slower?
You would be caught by surprise, right?
You mean in terms of the reload?
Yeah.
No, I feel like this critically serves the purpose of us wanting to be able to run against the same code base correctly. So nah.
Okay. So are you going to ngrok me right now?
I'm going to ngrok you, yeah. But first I have to log out of this Pogo ngrok account.
Oh, gee.
Uh-huh.
I think you ngrok.
It wasn't log out.
And then you'd give it a port name. Ngrok HTTP.
Oh, yeah, but
3000, yeah.
Oops. All right, I gotta kill this split directory shit. The problem is someone took the credit card off of my ngrok account.
Wait, you shouldn't need a credit card for ngrok.
No, but this laptop is totally tied into my old work account.
Why didn't you just log out though?
I tried. It didn't do a thing.
I think there might be a .ngrok in your home directory, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable.
ngrok 2.
There you go. I got 1 and 2.
Yeah.
They're both gone.
RM-RF.
Oop. Indeed it is. Okay. That was annoying. Boy, this happened to me with Netlify too, where my entire account was tied to Pogo, and Devin just deleted the credit card. And I had to send him I sent him an email. I was like, "I'm sorry, this account has not been paid, but I'm just a lowly employee. Please give me my email address back."
Oh no!
And Netlify was totally into it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, they didn't care. I was like, the company shut down.
Oh shit! I'm gonna run it over here.
You want me to Slack it to you? You just want to type that out?
You can Slack it to me.
I thought you were getting ready to type. I'm just like, oh no.
I'm just lazy.
See, the nice thing is I had a vanity ngrok where I could set my own names, and boy, was that nice.
Yeah, I had one. I have one at Slack. It's really nice.
Yeah. Send.
Opening.
Right.
Oh my god, the game is running.
I can see you requesting the game. Yeah.
Oh my god, sweet lord.
Well, the game's refreshing now, so watch out. Don't move too far.
My particle emitters look laggy. Interestingly.
They all have kind of a
and it reloaded because you reloaded the game. This is actually, to be honest, something we could have done before by exposing the parcel dev server. But you know what? This is awesome.
I like that we're talking. We could have done this with the dev server, but I like that we're talking to a real server
exactly.
that the client can now communicate with on the same host name. Even we don't have CORS problems. This is delightful.
we've got hot reloading, and then I know we've only got 20 minutes left, but I want to know how far we can get into simulating the server on the server.
Okay.
I mean, well, we
let's
have
do
to basically build a lot, right? We have to build a communication protocol between the client and the server, which we don't have.
Exactly. So, I mean, maybe we can sketch a little bit of this out.
There's like a dot connect, something like that.
Yep. So let's,
Or slash
put
connect,
this,
yeah.
Yeah. I want to namespace everything under API too, just because.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like we're going to want it.
Totally fine. And this is going to have to open a WebSocket, right? So we're going to already get into socket.io, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever your favorite thing is. Sock.js. Goa does have a WebSocket thing as well.
I was going to say, I totally don't have a preference, but I definitely would be interested in the easiest version of this.
How many downloads do we have? Yeah, I love this convention of just like, does it get downloads? 6.0 though. I like how they actually commit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm curious. The other thing I check is like the versions and when they came out, and there's your problem.
I mean, it might be fine. I don't know.
It might be fine. All it's got to do is WebSocket, right? How hard is that?
Yeah, maybe it's just mature at this point.
WebSockify. I mean, I like this pattern at least.
Why does it run over the entire app? Should I even ask that question? What? Because it probably like rewrites a bunch of functions.
Probably so.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. Let's just do it. And if it's gross, it's gross.
All right. I'm into it.
All right.
Cool. I'm gonna kill the server yarn add Koa WebSocket.
Another way to know whether this is legit is if it has an at types.
Or if it's already in TypeScript.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
Somebody cared enough to write one.
Cool. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
WebSockify from Koa WebSocket. Great. That is definitely a function. We don't need to log that any longer. And then we...
Koa WebSockify is
Ugh. That is extremely gross.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's probably installing a Bitcoin miner over that. Over that.
Oof. So this is interesting.
So all of our .uses need to go to .ws.use. I already hate this API, but whatever.
Now is that? I assume this is only things we want to WebSocket.
Well, no, I mean these are presumably these are all regular HTTP endpoints because the WebSocket doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. But I guess we could app.use. We would basically be saying that if we left these three as it is, they won't support the upgrade to WebSocket.
Or they might not even run at all.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
Let's start the server.
Just try it. See what happens.
Yeah. If it still serves, I'm okay wrapping the thing that we want to accept upgraded WebSocket connections in the WS function. That could be worse. But that's interesting too, because then we basically just we have our connect endpoint right, and it immediately.
I actually don't mind this pattern. I just don't know what the WS is doing. Is it just a different namespace of middleware, like two completely different pipelines of middleware?
I kind of feel like that's what's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's a pipeline where it needs to insert itself fairly early. The rest of the app still works.
It's working. Okay. So let's. Well.
So let's do. Yeah, this is going to be. So we have app.use. This is app.ws.use.
And then it's just.
Right, and then it's just connect.
Connect. Yeah.
Cool. And then we have
ctx.websocket.
Yep.
That's in.
On.
Yeah. This is cool. Down with this.
Yeah, this ain't bad.
Yeah.
And then our messaging is we get to handle it. So this is really our interface. It's like, what are the messages?
Yeah.
And I guess on connection, we're going to do ctx.websocket.send. And like, this is like player number, right? Like,
exactly.
We can have a let player number equals 1, send player number. This is global state on the server, but you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
So why is one of these CTXs okay and the other one isn't? That's annoying. It's just unused. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not unused. We're definitely using it. I don't know why it's complaining.
Oh, yeah. No, I lied. And is this a totally different package that we don't have? No, it's I bet I need to install this.
Oh. Well, it's just middleware, right?
Yeah, can I just wrap it around the router? Probably so.
You just basically have to create another router, I think.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
The fact that I think they just said in that comment regular middleware needs to do ws.use.
Mm-hmm.
I have the bad feeling that like that has to happen everywhere. But that's okay though, because then if so, it'll save us from having to create a second router because we can just like reuse the original one.
Right, because everything that's. I mean, I guess yeah. Hang on. Maybe I just got ahead of myself here because this is silly because the only place we do use is there.
No, there's a second one on the same line.
There's a second one on the.
We should maybe add some new lines there to make it really clear. So app. Maybe even the first one as well, like app. Yeah. So I'm
really. ESLint doesn't want to.
Okay.
That's totally why that's here. I think.
That's fine. And then TypeScript is going to really have a problem with all that, but whatever.
It totally does.
Yeah. Well, no, it shouldn't. The WebSockified version should just export the right types, right?
Yeah. Returns router middleware orange dispatches a router.
What's the complaint?
It is unclear to me.
Can you scroll down in that?
Oh, I can. Middleware.
Okay, this is a problem with their WebSockify types.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's annoying.
Yeah. Koa EasyWS. God, any piece of software.
You gotta say easy.
Any piece of software that says simple in the description drives me insane because it just means they don't have any confidence in what they're building.
To be fair, I feel like this is a direct dig at the other library.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying.
Okay.
Also, it uses router.
I'm down.
This is kind of fine, actually.
Yeah. This is let's use this.
This is better.
I love it.
but I totally get you.
Dom, I've been very rude. How are you doing? I didn't even ask you.
I'm doing okay. I mean, the world is ending, but like, I'm surviving.
Was it just the delayed impact of the Ginsburg thing, or was Breonna Taylor, or like what's the thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like everything, right?
Okay.
Like it's all these things that I like. Ginsburg, I don't really give a shit about Ginsburg. Like the Supreme Court has been a sham as long as I've been involved with politics, and like we sure do not need like a monarchy of judges. That's whatever. But Breonna Taylor is a real kick in the pants, and it brings up that whole like, should I be out in the streets protesting instead of like doing literally anything like going to my job?
Yeah. And
I don't know. I feel like I read some article this week that was like, here's the 4 scenarios for civil war from like most likely to least likely in the next month. And I was just like, oh God, none of your scenarios don't involve civil war. they were just like surprised, like things got really bad. And I'm like, oh man, I mean, you're right, but I didn't want to think about that.
Gross.
Yeah, I mean, 2020. But yeah, it's kind of just a punch in the gut. I feel like I've taken some and not really felt it this year, and I guess one of them got to me. How are you?
I'm good. I had the day off.
That's a great choice.
Yeah.
Man.
I took Monday off too.
Oh, is it because there's just stuff going on, or?
Well, as it happens, Slack has the very liberal policy of letting people take one Friday off each month. It's not in our option. The whole company does. Just because, I think it's a concession mainly to parents, I would say. But it's a tough time for everybody right now, right? And it's been a popular program. I mean, obviously having a day off a month is a popular program, but
yeah,
it's been, I think, especially helpful to people. And I think people are grateful for it in legitimate ways. Probably the WebSocket needs to be installed first, I think.
Needs to be installed. Am I missing something?
You just need to put...
Well, first of all, I still got that in there.
See you later, buddy. Just put the .use for that one.
Oh, you think it's the first one? Yeah, totally.
Which vaguely makes sense.
I was thinking that actually I might have just boned it on that too. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I never know when I'm converting from required imports, which one it's going to want.
Yeah.
It's already in TypeScript. That's nice.
Yeah. Oh, hey, good for you.
It's easy and simple. I'm really glad that you got a day off. That sounds just delightful.
Yeah.
Man.
But then I've accrued so much PTO on account of not having taken a vacation in over a year that I need to just burn it. So I'm extending all of my 3-day weekends to 4-day weekends.
Ah, Jeff, that's so smart.
It's pretty nice.
I love it. It's pretty nice.
We've also we're fostering a pooch. His name is Rufus.
Of course, yes. You've got a really good reason. You're like, you got dog stuff to do.
This is.
I'm a big fan.
I think I mentioned this. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He doesn't bark at all. Really good. You can see him actually kind of. You can see his tail moving around in the corner there.
I got like a good look at Rufus. Was it Tuesday? Bunny held him up.
Oh, okay.
Rufus is a good dog.
He's a good dog. He's a very good dog. He's not 100% housebroken, however.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I've experienced this joy.
Yeah.
Our new cats, when we got them in the first month, they had to be kept in the bedroom, and they really were very sweet until they decided that they need to pee on the bed every 3 days for no apparent reason. Ugh.
So here's an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why would we say if context.ws? Why would it not be there? Why is this API so diffident?
I think, so the client request needs to request an upgrade to WebSocket, right?
I think that's happening invisibly, or the await ctx.ws is taking care of it.
I guess this is like, doesn't the browser side of this need to request, when it starts up in the browser, we're going to request take our HTTP, turn it into a WebSocket, and I think that's what not every connection will necessarily be.
The
a
browser
WebSocket
needs
response.
to have made the request the right way.
Exactly.
And it's the connect HTTP method, right?
It's the
Okay.
Yeah. So it requests this, and
what
then it becomes a
WS
WebSocket. Mm-hmm.
TypeScript is going to hate us, though.
It's not going to be a fan. Yeah.
I think we just need to
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that does the full negotiation right there. And then once we're here, we can go ahead and send stuff back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
This is a weird API though, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's fine. It's fine.
It's easy.
Yeah.
But what's the I guess I'm trying to figure out how do we listen? Is it this?
Oh, yeah. What is their
There's like a loop missing.
ws.send?
That should be the response to the
Yeah, it's from server to client. And then is there a .on? I guess we don't know what that is because they didn't type it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also,
Can
like,
we do an as maybe?
Yeah, I'm confused that this is. I wonder actually if.
Well, it makes sense to me that the TypeScript doesn't know where it is, because that was why the WebSockify thing was useful, is because it could like overwrite all the function signatures on Koa, and this one can't, right? So I think we just have to like just add a little comment there that says TypeScript shut the hell up, right?
Yeah. Let's see. There is a WebSocket context, which is actually cool. So we could just add this too.
Yeah.
No?
We need to import
just,
the type.
I do need to import the type, but I was just gonna. But it's not actually it. So it actually is it's this.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can bind it. We can just say let CTX2 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fan.
This is the greatest code ever written. It's
amazing.
Yeah.
Anytime I have to add a context to code, I'm always just like, what's happening? So, like, what is? I'm just confused.
Is there a ws.on? Maybe they just assume that you.
Oh yeah. What? Yeah. Right. What is WS?
A promise.any. Oh, come on, guys. Maybe there is a types that we didn't. Well, I don't know. That looks like friggin'.
I'm in their DTS file.
Yeah.
Oh, the promise that returns a WebSocket. Oh, the WebSocket is the WS library. You know what? Why is this? How did this become any? I just don't get it. Oh well. If I call this a WebSocket, then this is suddenly upset that it's not a string?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
Or
Great.
not a buffer, even. Oh, hey. Is there a WebSocket thing in React Native? This is wrong. We don't want React Native's type.
Blah. You're right.
How is React Native even in this context? Like,
dude, I bet it's in our log file somewhere. What included these types? Style components? Style components. That's okay. We're just gonna go into.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it is? Yarn dev. We probably need these types. WS. I bet that's what we're missing.
I'm excited.
Though it seems truly silly. That
what in God's name is WS? Is that yet another library?
It's what Koa uses, yeah. Simple.
It's what the easy WS
it seems
uses.
Popular.
That is a good sign. I'm pleased. Yeah. What about your other rubric of when it was updated?
Last published 3 months ago, which is great.
Tolerable.
Yeah. Deploying this year is a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing patches. They're fine.
Dominic, we're at 9. Do you want to try to scratch an itch and see if we can't get something back and forth?
Let's time box it, but yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally into that. Yeah, what is this type that I've defined? It's nothing.
That doesn't need it anymore, right? Now that we've added the types.
That's correct, because this is.
Oh, come on.
Still returns a promise.any. It's really, really wild. Fine. I'll just do it.
Oh no.
Oh lordy. Just try all three till I get what I want. Okay.
That's a namespace. Can you go to the definition of that?
Sure.
Oh, that looks good. That looks totally good.
That's what we want, because
Yes.
we've got on message, we're in types WS, we've got send. Yeah, that feels great.
Excellent.
Cool.
There's a lot of violence being done here to the type checker in these few lines.
I feel
like
really bad about what's happening here.
No. This is you're getting the violence out of your system. You're having a tough week, and now the type checker is gonna get it.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yes. Second pet peeve of GitHub project descriptions. First being simple. Second is the phrase blazingly fast.
Ooh, yep.
What's the difference between .on message and on message one word?
I don't know, but this is definitely the function that we have for the library we're using.
Okay. Let's do it.
So I'm just gonna go with that, but I hear you. I hear what's happening. Okay, cool. So this looks like a pretty simple WebSockets server to me. I'm gonna restart it. Nope. And now on the client side, we actually gotta like drop in some fetch or something.
Yeah. Well, we need a client-side WebSocket library.
I bet it's WS.
Yeah, I that's great because we've already got it. We imported the at types. We might as well import the rest of it, right?
Uh-huh. I do want to see us. Okay.
Where is the
I'd like to see a client. No, that's not a client.
That's how you authenticate the client from the server side.
Right. Yeah. See the examples folder. Ah, Marty. Fine.
Let me just say, despite all of the fuss of today, I find myself 3 minutes past the hour increasingly excited about the possibilities of this.
Still want to do it, right?
Yeah.
I know. Here you go. So yeah, we do just drop it into the front end. Great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I feel like this particular session has been probably a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad that we just kind of ripped the Band-Aid off of this one.
Yeah. It's fine. It's just complaining about the lack of use.
Yep, totally. /API/connect. I don't know. What's that do? Is it running?
Did our hot reload thing work?
I think it actually did. No. Oh God, I'm in yarn start. There is no server. Nothing is running.
Yeah. Well, if this works and we find that this is the way that we want to run it, then maybe we should replace yarn start with something else. Yeah.
Kick it over to that. Yeah. Well, especially if we can both run the game at the same time.
Yeah.
We'll be golden. Wow. So this is gonna be a whole new world where we can both see the game without going through Zoom FPS.
It did not like something.
This is not easy.
So the import didn't work for.
Yeah. What the fuck does that mean? So this, I'm gonna just let this TypeScript be unhappy and maybe try to.
I don't know if it's gonna compile though.
It will if I put any.
Oh,
there is
cool.
truly the violence upon the type checker.
Yeah. The default. We just need to figure
Oh,
out how this. Yeah, star as. Like,
star
what the
as
hell
a,
is it doing?
I think you're right.
Damn.
I know. Ooh, it was that. Because that just brought that type right in there. Oh, come on.
So, can you highlight WebSocket, the lowercase w, and what is that thing? And what is the export default WebSocket?
Should be this. It does have a default.
So, is the declared function here actually exported? Can you do WebSocket.WebSocket?
Oh man. I bet you're right. Ooh, I wonder if we have a conflict too.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think this is going to work.
Seems.
Yeah. So I think so. The star, like, how do we get the default export out of something that also has regular export using an
I mean,
import statement?
it's this.
And yet it had a hard time finding the default.
Yeah, this is the one where
This
it
is like a
said
parcel
there
thing.
possibly. We also have types in here that maybe we just don't need. Do we put types in for this? Oh, we didn't. Maybe it needs types. But no, because we actually got
Yeah,
to the
the
TypeScript
types
definition of
aren't
this
the
file.
problem right now. It's, oh, well, yeah, kind of.
Kind of. I'm just gonna. Is that
No,
that also definitely won't work? Yeah,
yeah.
this is our default for sure. I'm just gonna let's console.log. I hate doing this, but that's the only way to peek and see what's in there. Cannot find namespace WebSocket. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a
It's
problem.
WS Koa. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, well, that can come later. I just want it to work.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So this import is just totally undefined. Come on, really? And so if I do
This is like a parcel thing.
yeah, it seems like something is really not digging this. Koa easy. I mean, I could require it. This didn't even log anything.
Well, it's not callable because we're importing the whole module. So it's just the whole object at this point.
Yeah, but I tried to at least log the namespace and it was even unhappier. I just like this is silly.
Oh, I see. You were just dumping the whole object, right?
I was trying to, yeah. All right, what the hell is this create WebSocket? Come on.
Well, that should be runnable now, right? That should be executable. OWS, if you call that.
That?
No, what I meant is, what happens if you call Koa WS with parentheses to say it's not defined?
I think this was the not a function again.
Well, didn't it just say it was a function when you logged it?
Yeah.
It's not a function maybe during compile. Yeah.
It has no call signatures. Ugh. Well, I'm skeptical. All right. I feel like I think I might be done.
Okay, that's fine.
But I feel like we've got sort of a good set of bones.
I concur.
and an understanding of what sucks, which is Koa WebSockets.
Let this also be a lesson to never have a default export and regular exports at the same time. Or I don't know. I think it's just the problem with having default exports in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm. You shouldn't. There should not be any. Oh wait, sorry. We didn't do one very silly thing. Just requiring it.
Wait, how do you use? How does one use the non-default exports with a require statement? You remember?
Nope.
Like, why would you ever mix the two? Like, because with require, you can't really specify, right? Require, you always get the default export.
I know. And yet, it works. That's very annoying. Yeah, no, I don't know why, but I've seen this happen. I just don't understand.
Okay.
I don't understand. yeah, we will experience what's going on.
This was, let me just say, the fiddliest session that we've had yet, right?
It's sure one of them, yeah. WebSocket is not a constructor, huh? All right.
Is Friday night a weird night to do a stream?
I kind of like it, but
I like it too. Would you? But I mean, would a Monday Thursday schedule offend you?
No, it wouldn't.
Do you think
that's an interesting one too?
Folks would be more likely to watch us on a Thursday night or a Friday night?
You know, it's tough because, like, in normal times, you put TV on Friday for it to go and die, but that's because everyone is out at the club and the bar.
Yeah.
So I'm a little lost. I don't know.
Are we like oh god, it's Friday, I want to just like play a shitload of video games and do whatever or watch a movie kind of?
No, that
are we more like I just need to like make it through the week and I need something to distract myself? I feel like we're more door number 2 than door number 1.
I think that makes sense to me. So maybe we should try. I'm down for Monday, Thursday. That seems pretty chill.
Monday, Thursday.
Yeah, roll it around in your head.
I like Monday, Thursday.
Okay, we haven't shipped a website with a schedule on it yet. So
yeah, that's true.
Hey, this is sort of happening. Oh, I did a get, and that makes sense because this is a post. It's trying to talk to the server. It's really trying super duper hard. Your build key keeps fetching. Oh, this is great. The front end keeps looking for the back end even when you kill the server, and like.
Oh yeah, that's all by design.
Super clever. I love it. That's a good design.
I think there's at some point I was just like, just pull everything you do, just pull.
That's all I've ever wanted, though. I think it gave up after 4.
Oh, it should have given up.
Okay. Well, now we've got like a connect is also not found.
Well,
interesting.
If it's using the connect HTTP method, then the .get won't respond to that. You'll get a 404, right?
Indeed we do. Okay. I'm going to commit this.
Okay. Well, let's chew on the schedule change. Let's chew on this. This was a real crunchy peanut butter kind of simple kind of stream today. A lot of what we shall say programmer BS is about.
Yeah, which I know we try to avoid, but also like I feel like this was maybe more interesting than redoing all our game systems for sure.
This is representative of what it's like. Yeah. If not to make a game, then to just work with computers.
Computers, yeah. Computers were maybe a mistake, but that's fine. We're doing them.
Yeah, and now we've got. Oh,
oops!
What?
Well, I killed it all. Sorry, Jeff. Just stare at my background.
Yeah. The public is just waiting for us to get our explosions back. I think that's what's happening.
I understand. I am too, and they're gonna come.
Yeah, they'll come. They'll be there.
All right, should we say goodbye to Twitch?
I think so. All right.
All right.
See you, everybody.
Good night, Twitch.